Party Boys Clue Book 1 Video Game Bandit. Chapter 10. A Very Naughty Puppy. It was Biff, Joe finally said. But why? Joe handed his brother the blue cap. The tag inside read BIFF. Joe still had his name written on all of his clothes from camp last summer. They made you do that so you could find them in the laundry. We should go find Phil, Frank said. Come on. We can get back to the house through the woods. We just have to follow the music. The boys took off through the trees. From somewhere up ahead, they could hear the music from the party. The noise got louder and louder as they reached the back fence. They passed the treehouse where they'd found Kendall. When they reached the edge of the woods, the party was just ending. A bunch of guests were grabbing their things and starting to leave. Thank you all for coming today, Coach Quinn said. We've raised a lot of money for the Bayport Bandits, and we're nearly at our goal for the baseball field trip. Frank and Joe ran up to Phil, who was stationed by the sound system. They didn't want to accuse him of anything, but they knew that if Biff was the one who'd taken the Z-Cross, Phil had likely helped him. Kevin and Alana had agreed that there were two boys coming out of the den, not one. Phil, we need to talk to you, Frank said. We know Biff took the Z-Cross. We just need to know why. Does he still have it? What happened? Phil's cheeks turned pale. I don't know, he stuttered. It's okay, Phil, Joe said. We want to find out. We're hoping to have it auctioned off before everyone leaves. There's not much time. Phil sighed. I can explain, I swear. He said, it was all a really big misunderstanding. Right after the auction started, Biff and I were inside to check on Sherlock. And when we went into the den, we saw him with the Z-Cross 5000. He had chewed half of the box, and he was about to chew the remote too. We found the box, Frank said. So I guess that was why there was drool all over it. Yeah. Phil let out a small laugh. Yeah. And when I saw it, we kind of freaked out. We knew it was the biggest prize of the auction, and Sherlock had destroyed the box. That's when we remembered that Mr. Fun had gotten one for his birthday. We figured we might have the extra box at his house. We went there looking for it, but his son said they had already thrown the box away. You could have just told us, Joe said. We would have understood. Well, we wanted to, but by the time we got back, everyone had already decided it was stolen. We panicked. We didn't know what to do. Phil put his face in his hands. We should have said something. I realize that now. So the boy with the squirming stomach, Frank said, looking at Joe, let me guess. Did you or Biff put Sherlock under your shirt when you snuck out of the den? That made Phil smirk. Yeah, how'd you know? Frank didn't respond. Instead, he just laughed. Well, maybe we can auction off the Z-Cross without the box. Do you still have it? Do you know where it is? Yeah, Phil said, waving for the boys to come with him. I think Biff was going to try to fix the old box. Come with me. Frank and Joe followed Phil inside the house. Sure enough, when they got to the den, Biff was already there. His face was bright red, and he looked like he might cry. He had the Z-Cross in the package, but the box was still disgusting. It's no use, he cried when he saw Phil. It's totally messed up. We're just going to get in so much. Before he could finish, he looked behind Phil and saw Frank and Joe there. It's okay, Frank said. Phil told us what happened. We're here to help. Let's talk to Coach Quinn. We might be able to auction off the Z-Cross, even though it doesn't have the box. It's worth a try. We're so sorry we didn't tell anyone what happened. Really? Don't worry about it, Joe said, following Biff outside the hall closet. He opened it. There, sitting behind some towels, was a chewed, soggy gaming system. Joe pulled it out, finally holding it in his hands. Let's go. There's still time. 10 minutes later, Coach Quinn was back on stage. Thanks for all of your patience. We're very happy to say that the Z-Cross 5000 has been found, and it's ready for a new home. And some of you may have heard we don't have a box for it, but I assure you it's in mint condition. The bidding starts at $100. Before he could even finish the sentence, 3 paddles in the auction went up. Do I hear 120? 140? Coach Quinn asked. She kept raising the price, but even more paddles shot up. Everyone wanted the Z Cross 5000. Didn't matter whether it was in a box or not. The boys watched as the woman with the gray hair and the old man with the glasses battled it out. Every time the woman raised her bidding paddle, the old man raised his. After a few minutes, the bidding war ended. Sold to the woman with the gray hair, Coach Quinn said. Almost as soon as those words came out of her mouth, she froze. I mean, sold to the woman in the blue scarf. She stammered as everyone, including the woman, laughed. Coach Quinn laughed too. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm just so excited. That $600 will really help the Bayport Bandits get to their goal and get to Florida. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. The crowd clapped as the woman went up to get her prize, which Mrs. Freeman had put in a big fancy silver gift bag. Frank put his arm around his brother, happy with how everything had turned out. They found the Z Cross and auctioned it off, and hopefully the whole team would be going to Florida. We did it, Frank said, smiling. Another case solved.